Welcome to our tutorial video for the Krissy shawl.
Yes.
I have my sunglasses on my head.
It was sunny today, if you can tell. It is now nighttime. So we want to go over a couple little helpful tips and tricks for the Krissy shawl. And you can find the pattern, if you're just stumbling across this, you can find the pattern for the Krissy shawl on Ravelry.
Yep.
And
so I think we're going to just go over a couple little things.
yeah, it's a fairly basic, I would say this is a good beginner-ish pattern.
And that's this shawl right
What
here.
we're wearing. All right, so right away you can see the difference. There are a couple fun options to make it your own. The pattern calls for roughly 500 yards of a main color in DK weight and about 200-ish yards in, I don't have it in front of me, in contrasting. So this one is knit with main color in like a speckle with the contrasting color in a solid.
And this one is the opposite. So the main color is the solid and the contrast
Is more of a light speckle.
is more of a light speckle.
Yeah.
Can't really tell that it is, but it is a speckle.
Yeah, so I'd say any two of your favorite yarns that are contrasting.
Yeah.
You'll definitely get a bit more of a bold effect with a contrast. And so what's going to happen is you're going to be, it's a crescent shape. You're going to be casting on, going through just kind of some basic setup rows, and then into, we'll talk about this section here. We'll quickly talk about maybe the yarn over section, show you how to do a double yarn over. Other than that, it's a basic yarn over. And then some short rows. So that is sort of just the basic construction. And we'll try to hit everything in this little video.
Perfect.
Is that everything?
That's everything.
Okay.
Here it is.
Okay. All right. So the first thing we're going to cover, don't mind this. This is just a swatch that we're going to use. But you're going to look into your pattern, and the first thing it's going to ask you to do with your main color is to cast on 5 stitches. You can use your basic long tail cast on. And then we're going to just talk quickly about the setup row. Setup row 1, with your 5 stitches on your needle, it will tell you to knit 1 and then knit front, back, front. This is, in the setup, is the only time you'll be doing a knit front, back, front, which is a double increase. So you're going to insert your needle as if to knit. So you're going to knit through the front loop. Before you pull it off, you're going to twist your needle around, knit it through the back loop, and then you're going to bring it back again into the front for the last time, and then slip it off. So it's actually given us a double increase. So we've got 3 stitches there. And then you'll knit 1, knit front, back, front again, knit 1. Just follow the row, but I just wanted to touch on the knit front, back, front. That is the only time that that increase is done. So we're just going to back it up here. For the rest of your basic garter sections, it is just a knit front, back. So we'll get to that here. So what we're going to do is move on to squishy garter. So you've done your setup row, you've worked your basic garter section 4 times for a total of 29 stitches. And now we're going to move into squishy garter. So this is a 4 row repeat. Worked, yes, 4 row repeat. Okay, let's just keep going. So row 1A, which is your right side. So you're going to grab your contrasting color. I've already done one section here, but we're going to just continue on here. So what you're going to do is grab your contrasting color. Work basic garter row 1 with your contrasting color, which goes, all right, knit 2, and then yarn over, yarn forward, knit front, back. This is the same thing you've been doing the entire time for your garter section. All right, you're going to work the whole row. Then you're going to knit to the last 3 stitches. Going to knit to the last 3 stitches. 3 stitches left. Knit front and back for your increase. Yarn over, knit 2. All right, so that was just the same as your garter row. However, now it's going to tell you to push these just worked stitches back to the beginning. So instead of turning your work, you're not going to turn. You're going to actually push these stitches over your cord or your needle back to the beginning. So you've got your contrasting color over here, and now you're here with your main color, ready to work your main color. So now we're row 1B, which is still the right side. So this is your right side facing. With your main color, you're going to work basic garter row 2, which is just straight knitting. So we're going to knit right across. Sarah's going to insert some Jeopardy music or beat it up. So we're going to knit all the way to the end. Okay. And now after row 1B, then we're going to turn our work to the wrong side where we've got both of our yarns ready to work. All right, so now we're on the wrong side. So now we're on row 2A, which is with contrasting color. You're going to work your basic garter row 2 again. All right, contrasting color. We're going to work back. All right, so we've now worked all the way to the end. And then it will instruct you to push these just work stitches back to the beginning, just like this. You do not turn it, you push them back to the beginning where your main color is hanging. And you're ready to work the last, which is row 2B with your main color. You're going to work that straight across. I guess we'll do it. And that will finish off one repeat of your squishy garter. So then the pattern is going to tell you to repeat rows 1A and B and 2A and B of squishy garter 3 more times for a total of 4 times. So you're going to end up with 4 squishy garter bump rows. And that is your squishy garter section. So we're just going to quickly show you how to do a double yarn over as opposed to a single yarn over. So for a single yarn over, if you're coming from having just knit, you'll bring your yarn to the front. For a double yarn over, you're going to wrap it around again. So let's do that again. You're ready to knit. You're going to take your yarn and you're going to wrap it once, twice. And we'll just show you how. All right, and we're just going to knit one. Let's do it again. This is not to pattern, this is just to show you. Wrap it around twice and knit. So in the pattern, when it tells you to do a double yarn over, on the way back, you're going to be, because we don't want a double increase, you're going to be dropping the second loop of the double yarn over. So let's get to a double yarn over here. All right. Here's your double yarn over. You've got 2 loops, so you can knit into the first loop and drop the second one completely off the needle. Let's do that again. Just knit into the first loop, dropping the second off, and it will just give you a little bit of a bigger yarn over hole. So that is a double yarn over. So now we're going to show you section 2, squishy short rows. So this is worked very similar to the squishy garter with one little difference. So row 1A on your right side. with your contrasting color. And don't mind this, you've already done the rest, the rest of the instructions. We're just going to show you squishy short rows. So with contrasting color, you're going to knit 2, yarn over, knit front back, and then the pattern is going to tell you to knit 37, or in the following sections it will have a number that you'll replace 37 with. For the sake of this tutorial, we are going to pick the number 5. So I'm going to knit 5, or whatever number the pattern tells you. And then it's going to say TSK. That is a twin stitch knit. So what we're going to do for that is we are going to insert the right needle tip into the stitch below and knit it. So what we're going to do is, you can see the stitch below right now is a different color, but you're going to find the loop of the stitch below, and you're going to insert it into the back of that loop. All right, so there's your stitch on your needle. Here's the stitch below. We're going to insert it there. We're going to bring our yarn around, and we're going to bring it under as if to knit. And then we're going to take that loop, that stitch, and place it back onto the left needle. And now you'll see that we have 2 stitches coming out of one. This is a twin stitch. From now on, this stitch will always be worked as one when you are told to in the pattern. Okay, so we've worked our twin stitch knit. And now it's going to tell you to slip the stitches you just worked back onto the left needle. So you're going to take them, and you are just literally going to slip them, not twisting, just slip them. You would say purlwise, just slip them over back onto the left needle. All right, now you're ready to work row 1B. And so it says on the right side, we're still on the right side, with your main color this time, knit to the twin stitch and turn work. So we're going to take our main color, we're going to knit to the twin stitch. We are not going to knit the twin stitch. So we knit to the twin stitch. Okay, we've come to it. There's our twin stitch. And now we're going to turn our work. All right. Row 2A, wrong side. With CC, our CC is hanging here. We need to knit to the end. We're going to bring our yarn to the back so that we're ready to knit. We're going to knit to the end. All right. All right, then you're instructed, row 2A, to slip the stitches you just worked back over to the left needle. We're going to slip them back over here. Okay, not the twin stitch, just the stitches you just worked. And then we're ready to work row, 2B, wrong side. With main color, we're going to knit to the end. So put our main color to the back, so we're ready to knit, and knit to the end. All right, both our yarns are back on the same side. So we're going to turn our work. And now we're ready to work row 3A, right side. With contrasting color, we're going to knit 2. And then we're going to yarn over. We're going to knit front back. And then it instructs us to knit to the twin stitch. And then it says to knit the twin stitch as one. So we're going to take our twin stitch 2 loops and we're going to knit them as if they're one. Okay. And then it tells us to knit 2 and then TSK. So again, a twin stitch knit. Insert your right needle tip through the back loop of the stitch below the stitch that's on your needle. So this is the loop right here, and knit it. So bring it around, bring it under, and then take this new stitch, place it back on the left needle. And now we've got another twin stitch right here. All right, so then we slip the stitches that we just worked back to the left needle. All right, so from here on out, it's all of the same exact thing, working our stitches one way, twin stitch knit, slipping them back, and continuing on. That is squishy short rows. All right, so for this last, we're just going to show you how to do the stretchy shawl bind off. So the first instruction, knit 2, slip both of these stitches back to the left needle and knit them together through the back loop. And then the second instruction says to knit 1 so that you have your 2 on the right, slip both back to the left needle. There's a little shortcut. You can slip them both back together and then your needle is already set up to knit them together through the back loop. So let's do that again. And you're going to repeat that instruction until all the stitches are bound off. So you knit 1 and then you're going to insert your left needle tip into them and knit 2 together through the back. And I would just, instead of pulling snug, I would keep things fairly loose. So I'll do that again. Okay, slip them back over to the left needle. But to be a little quicker, we'll just insert it there and knit it through the back loop. All right, and we'll just continue doing that until all your thousands of stitches are bound off. All right. And that is the Krissy shawl tutorial.